Hi, I'm Paige, or Novice Cosplay. A few weeks ago, I was a part of Crunchyroll Hime's Cosplay Cup, and in this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience being in it, as well as give some tips for it for anyone who wants to enter in the future. And at the very end, I will show my finished skit in case you missed it. To be a part of the contest, you first have to submit what's called a pitch portfolio. The pitch deck requirements are on their website and could change for next year, but I'll go through the requirements that were there this year as we look at my portfolio. I just made mine using Google Slides because it's free and really easy to use. And this past year, there were apparently over 200 applicants, and they could only select 30 finalists. So you'll want to make a good first impression and catch the organizer's attention so you're selected as a finalist. Think of this as kind of like a teaser. You want to make those organizers want to see more so that they pick you. You don't need to be a professional with graphic design, but you do want to put some effort into your pitch portfolio to make it look nice and organized and to reflect your personality. So let your creativity flow and create a pitch portfolio that fits you and your costume. So of course, you shouldn't copy my pitch portfolio exactly, and there are a ton of different ways to make them and personalize them and make them your own. Luckily, a lot of the other contestants agreed to allow me to share with you their pitch portfolios, which you can find in the link below. So definitely check those out to get some more inspiration and ideas for how you can make an awesome pitch portfolio. So once you've submitted your pitch portfolio, you'll get an email if you've been selected as a finalist or not. If you're a finalist, you should get your costume finished ASAP, because after that, you'll still have to film and edit your skit, and you'll have to create your entire finalist portfolio, or as I like to call them, your build book. Your build book or finalist portfolio is going to be a lot different from your pitch portfolio. It's going to show the details of what went into making your costume, focusing on the craftsmanship. There are also examples of a bunch of finalist portfolios in that same folder that's linked below, so check those out too. I'm not going to go into too much detail for this part because it's really going to vary heavily depending on your costume, but some general tips and advice are just to keep it organized and let your images do most of the talking. Really minimize the text overall, only using it to call out really important aspects or details. Also remember that your finalist portfolio is not a tutorial. The judges will have sewing and crafting knowledge, so you don't have to break it down step by step. Instead, just focus on the interesting details, the cool things that you can't see in a photo, maybe how you finish the inside of your garment, stuff like that. You should also show off any cool techniques you used or any trial and error you had to go through to show your self-improvement and how you iterated on your costume to improve it. Now, don't worry too much about how it looks because your graphic design won't be included in your overall construction score. However, having a nice looking portfolio can't hurt, right? Finally is the skit. The skit is also worth a huge part of your overall score, and this is my first time making a skit, and it is pretty hard, so definitely leave yourself a lot of time to plan, shoot, and edit it. To make it as easy as possible on yourself during the actual shoot, you'll want to prepare as much as possible as you can before the shoot. That means you'll want a full storyboard, planning all of the shots that you want to take with a shot list so you can make sure you've captured everything and haven't forgotten something. You'll want to have your script finalized or almost finalized. You could maybe have a few alt voice lines that you still record. And you'll also want to have your set planned as well as a contingency plan in case anything falls through. Lastly, if it works within your skit, try to include some cool props or environmental factors that match with your character or series setting well, because they'll just be a really nice touch that adds a little extra flair to your skit. These are the props that I made for mine. I made some fake awards in Photoshop, as well as a fake news story, and I think they really enhance the skit. So I'm no pro photographer or videographer. I've done a couple classes in college, so I only have a little bit of advice here. And that is to film every shot or every action at multiple different angles and varying degrees of wide shot, which means far away, and close up, which means close up. This will make your skit a lot more dynamic, and it'll give you some fun options to play around with while you're editing. For one example, instead of a shot of me just reading this laptop from a distance, I swap in a close-up of my eyes and show my eyes reading the article instead, which I think makes it look a lot more dynamic. As an added bonus, this will also be a great way to show the details on your costume up close. So it's kind of killing two birds with one stone. One last thing, if you have time, I highly encourage you to submit the optional behind the scenes skit. If you're a finalist, you can hear a little bit more about this, but it's basically just a 30-second clip that can be about literally anything that you decide. I made mine about tutorials, and I honestly think that is what gave me a huge chance into winning the other awards. So if you have time, do it. If you're running out of time and barely getting your costume done on time, don't stress out about it. But with that out of the way, let's check out my finished skit in the contest.
Before I bring out entry number 20, a quick little anecdote here. Back in 2016, I had the privilege of getting to do one of my most favorite promotions for any company in any series of all time, and it was for the good people here at Crunchyroll for the Ace Attorney series, which is why I am so excited to bring up novice cosplay in the beginner category. Get your light blue light sticks ready to go, because after competing in mock trial in school for years, it's no surprise she's obsessed with Ace Attorney, bringing to life everyone's favorite whip-cracking prosecutor, Franziska von Karma. This is entry number 20, novice cosplay. Take that!
And here's a preview of how I made my costume. I started making tutorials so I could give back to the cosplay community, which has taught me everything I know. If you've ever thought about making a tutorial, you should try it out. They're actually really fun to make, and you'll be helping someone out who's making the same character. I hope you like my skit, and if you'd like to see how I made my whole cosplay, it'll be up on YouTube after the show.
Another flawless victory. Clearly I was born to be a prosecutor. Let's see if my perfect trial is in the news. Wait. This is my father's trial. Pet Parrot proves defendant is not guilty? Oh, that fool! How dare Phoenix Wright disgrace the Von Karma name? Looks like I'll have to teach that attorney a lesson. Phoenix Wright will have no idea what hit him. My victory shall be perfect.
Yeah, no objections to be found
amazing.
here. So we are going to move along to another one that I am very excited to present. Like I said last year when presenting this award, this is Crunchyroll Hime's Rising Star. This one is a very unique one to our competition, a very wonderful one. This entry is selected from the beginner and intermediate categories and represents an entry that shows extreme talent and potential to really light the cosplay world on fire. We expect to see great things from them in the future, and they will receive a gorgeous crystal trophy, $2,000 in cash, a brand new heavy-duty sewing machine with tons of notions, and courtesy of Asus Republic of Gamers, a premium Asus Gaming Gundam keyboard, which they can mash on with excitement when they finally get it, over being this year's Crunchyroll Hime's Rising Star. So we are going to go straight to that. I am so excited to present for this year's Crunchyroll Hime's Rising Star, novice cosplay as Francisca Von Karma from the Ace Attorney series. I said it before, no objections to this one. Congratulations, novice cosplay. If we can get you unmuted, I definitely want to have some words with you. First off, congratulations.
Oh my God. I'm speechless. I can finally sew through pleather.
Yes. The hardest materials, they will be nothing when you get your brand new heavy duty sewing machine. But again, congratulations so much. It was a fantastic performance. I am myself, as mentioned, huge Ace Attorney fan. It was great representing that that property for Crunchyroll. So to see this year's rising star be an Ace Attorney cosplayer, that warms my heart. I am looking forward to seeing what you bring to the cosplay world moving forward and at next year's Crunchyroll Expo. So congratulations.
Hey Mario, I'm going to sneak in here really, really fast before we keep going. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm stealing the spotlight real quick. But I really just wanted to say before we continue on, in regards to our Rising Star winner, something that I think is really special is the fact that you had a lot of passion, but specifically you have a lot of passion to give back to the community. And I think that that's some of the most important aspects about being a part of the cosplay community is sharing and paying it forward. And that was a very big part for all of us, especially me for making that choice. So thank you so much for an amazing performance and also for wanting to put so much work back out there as much as you've gotten as well. So thank you.
Yeah. So I again, definitely looking forward to seeing what you are going to bring in the future. Looking forward to having some good times in the courtroom. I'm looking forward to some good turnabouts.
Okay, so I still cannot believe that I won any award. And that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about right now. So originally, I wasn't going to enter in this contest at all. I told myself, I'm not good enough. My costume isn't clean enough. My costume won't be ready in time. I have no chance. Why bother applying? But luckily, I messaged some friends about it, and they were really encouraging and told me that I should just apply anyways. So I scrambled to get my pitch portfolio done, and I think I submitted everything just a few hours before the submission deadline. And I am so glad I did because I was selected as a finalist. And what's really cool about that is that entering Crunchyroll Expo's in-person cosplay contest was actually one of my New Year's resolutions, before the entire pandemic thing began. So just even being a finalist and getting to compete with everyone this year has been a dream come true. And then on top of that, I also got an award. So basically what I'm trying to say is don't convince yourself out of things. Whatever you've been thinking about doing, whatever contest you've been thinking about entering, just go enter it. And if you're having trouble convincing yourself or getting yourself to go enter and to go do that thing, tell your friends and tell your supporters in your community because they will help push you over that edge and get you to do the thing that you've been hesitant about. You never know what's going to happen. And if you don't enter, you might be the person holding yourself back the most. If you're watching this video, go apply to that cosplay contest that's happening near you. And definitely apply to the CRX Cosplay Cup for next year. Lastly, while you are competing, it's important to remember that even if you don't win an award, that doesn't mean you haven't won anything. Maybe you saw some personal improvement, made a new meaningful connection, or even just had fun. As long as you're doing one of those things, you've won something. And I think the sooner you get into that mindset, the sooner you'll have a more positive experience with contest. I've entered and lost contests before, so I definitely know that feeling of losing, but if you look at it from the outlook of what you've gained instead, you'll feel a lot better, and you might feel a little bit less stressed when you're entering contests, because as soon as you're not focused on winning and you're just focused on entering and meeting like-minded people and having fun, you're going to be way less stressed, and it's going to be easier to apply to those contests when you're not stressed about winning or losing. Okay, I think that's enough rambling, but before we close, I do really quickly want to thank everyone who made the Crunchyroll Hime Cosplay Cup possible this year, the organizers, the tech crew, the judges, but most importantly, the finalists who made such a welcoming and awesome community. Without them, it wouldn't have been the amazing positive experience that it was. I really hope I can participate again next year, and I better see you apply too. Bye!